Gobbly den. So why have I decided to obtain a temporary residence permit for here in the Czech Republic? You'll be aware that as EU citizens, we can go live, work, study, or for those of you who are crazy enough, even marry in any of the EU member states. We need no special documentation other than this. So why have I decided to obtain this temporary residency permit? After the referendum on the 23rd of June 2016, I was still living in Great Britain, and I jumped online to do some research. And what I wanted to know was, when I come and live here in the Czech Republic, what will happen when Britain finally leaves the EU? And of course, still well over a year after that day, nobody really knows. The British government have still yet to meet with the Czech government to thrash out some kind of deal. What will happen to all the Czechs living in Great Britain? What will happen to all the Brits who live here in Czech Republic? And apparently there's around 10,000 of us. Nobody knows. So I thought about the words of old Jack Nicholson from the movie Batman. Think about the future. And he's right. So when I arrived here in November of last year, I already had made friends from previous visits with a guy who actually happens to be my neighbour now. He's Czech and he knows English very well, and we've become good friends. And I asked him to take me to the police station to register. I don't need to do it as an EU citizen. But remember, I'm thinking about the future. So he took me to the police station and I registered. It wasn't here in the city that I live, Most, because Most is very small. So we had to go to another city called Komatov, and it serves as the regional hub for official business. It was interesting that my neighbour and the sergeant on duty, who had been a policeman for 17 years, was sharing a joke, and I asked, "What?" And apparently it turned out that in his 17 years, he had never before seen a Brit register for temporary residency. I felt fuzzy inside. I felt kind of special. He then registered me on the system, and I was now registered with the police. He gave me a ticket with some information on, and he sent me and my neighbour a few streets down to the regional immigration office, where we took a ticket. We went into the booth. The lady understood some English, and she began the registration process for me to obtain a temporary residence certificate. 6 weeks later, they wrote to me. My neighbour and I jumped in his car. We returned to the immigration office in Komatov, and I was given this. And she explained to me at the immigration office that providing I don't become a terrorist, a murderer, or a rapist, then in 5 years they will write to me again, I will return, and they will give me permanent residency. And when I was leaving, I assured her I had no plans to take up any of those careers. And so, regardless of Brexit, I am a resident in the Czech Republic, and it's just another thing that I don't have to worry about. So if you're a Brit, either living here without one of these permits or considering coming to live here permanently, I advise you to think about doing what I have done. Obtaining a temporary residency permit which lasts for 5 years, and then providing you're not a criminal, you will secure permanent residency regardless of what happens with Blighty and Brexit. I hope this has been of help to at least someone. Until next time.